You leave here and nobody, and you need a prize, you got problems and situations, call 911. That's what he said, right? What did that tell you? 911, the message is right there. 911 is an emergency call. If you call, there's two things you're going to call, you're in trouble, and that people never forget. One of them is God, and the other one is your mother. Get in trouble. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Mama. You remember that. Why? Because it's embedded in you. That's in your humanism. That's the human aspects of you.
Yes, sir.
So what we need to do and what we have to do, we know what we need to do. Ain't no mystery about that. Here we are living in the greatest country in the world. Greatest country. You know, I got to get Edom gave me my glasses back, so. Here's a message from Imam Mohammed, I insert. It says, this is Independence Day, and I'm inviting you to come to my meanings of patriotism and walk these streets and know that they belong to you as much as they belong to any man. And see your future in this country and believe that the world is open to you as much as it is open to any man.
Yes, sir.
Go on and build a great life for yourself as much as any man in the United States of America. Imam Deen Mohammed.
Yes.
Patriotism, the greatest country in the world.
Yes, sir.
To show you one example, never has the slave and the slave master ever coexisted after slavery. Never. History, no recorded history will show you that. They always was destroyed somewhere along that line. But here we are in America, the slave and the slave master today. They're coming out, showing you the one humanism. Not black, not white, not any other color, just one humanism. And that's and we established, Imam Mohammed helped establish that humanism. Because he was the first one to reach out for interfaith. He's the first one to reach out to all these different places. He didn't go to the Baptists, over the rock, Sweet Rock, under the rock, and Castle Rock, and every other rock. He went to the largest denomination in the world, the Catholics, and he made an inroad with them, and he impressed them people. And like they say, the Quran tells you that the one that's most closest to the Muslim is who? The Christian. Because why? They stand in adoration all night in prayer. Just like we do. They pray. And they ask Allah for what? And say, in our prayers, we pray for them too. Right? Because we say, oh Allah, bless Muhammad and the followers of Muhammad as you bless who? Ibrahim and the followers of Ibrahim. That's the Christian and the Jew. So you praying for them. So when these immigrants come in and tell you that the great Shaitan and all these other people is nothing, well, you say, well, why you pray for them then? Huh? So I mean, all these things, see, this understanding we get not from Bishop Jordan or somebody.
That's right.
No, we can't. This came directly from Imam Deen Mohammed. All these things, and I think, I don't see a problem, but I had a situation when from the first experience where we were always taught from day one that when you're dead, you're done. There was no hereafter. There was no life after death. That heaven and hell was a state of condition. We believed that. I believed it. And so when Imam Muhammad started talking about Allah and His angels, man, that was kind of a knock for me. Man, are you talking about some angels? So I asked him. I said, well, man, what about this angel bit? And he went on to explain to me, how Allah created His angels and He created man. And He created the angels with it. And he said that the angels can only do one thing, and that's right, good. So as I go on, I read more, and he told me, he said, read the life of Muhammad the Prophet. And there's so many books on Muhammad the Prophet.
That's right.
Peace, blessed be upon him. When you read it, though, you'll find that the understanding that, and he told us, he said that understanding is not something you reach out and get. He said something you grow in.
Alhamdulillah.
See, you can read something and it may not affect. Same thing with the Quran. You may read it today, and you can make no sense to you. Because the first time we read the Quran, it didn't make too much, because you couldn't really read because you didn't know what you was reading. Oh, well, what's all this mean? But see, as you grew into it, and he took us into the insight, Allah gave him that insight, and that's the blessings. When he had what he has and what he has given us, he said, "You're Imam Muhammad. I'm Imam Muhammad." Every one of us has a responsibility. Every one of us has a duty. Now, if you fail in your duty, and say when you make your return and the angels ask, "What did you do?" What you gonna say? "Well, if you let me go back, I'll..." No. This is your probation period. This is gonna determine what you gonna get. If you ain't sent nothing ahead of you, you ain't got nothing coming. That's all. It's as simple as that. He said, "You will not deny of the least little iota of good. Allah bless you for that. You'll get your reward for that. But for all these other mean and dirty little things that you're doing, you're going to pay for them too. Things you do 2 by 2, you're going to pay for 1 by 1. And that's all the way through life. The consequence of your actions. So if we take right now and just say we're going to take 1,000 words, a picture is worth 1,000 words, right? Now we got an opportunity to put this body of knowledge. You got Billy Graham, you got T.J. Jakes and Price and all these other guys on 24 hours a day, right? You never hear them hollering about, well, we don't know how we gonna meet next week's payroll. And they give Jesus to everybody, the whole world. They give him to them, and they say, okay. Now here we sitting here with the true and living God. Yeah, we got it all going for us, brother. We got everything. We got the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Huh? We're that perpendicular on the square. But yet still, though, we can't get Imam Muhammad on a local TV station. I'm not talking about Comcast or for the free jobs. I'm talking about something commercial, where everybody can see it. We're stingy. We keep him to ourselves. But Imam Muhammad told us, he said, "I will not let y'all keep me in these 4 walls." And I stick with that. I go for that, because I don't want to keep him in these 4 walls. And I asked Allah, when I was going through my supposition, I asked him, "Oh Allah, guide me. Let me work in this cause in this life, and leave this life working in this cause." Because I know I do believe, and like I said, many of you as examples, because from where you came, crooks, robbers, banks, murderers, some of everything. But Allah, the word, you heard the word, and it changed your life. It made a difference in you, and you're a different person today than you was before you came into this religion. So we want to get those that's interested. That's all. Those that's not interested, I'm not talking to you.
Yes, sir.
Talking to the people that are interested, that have this at heart. Let's get this program on a national, not something that we got to go sit next to the wall to hear it or see it. No, we want to get on a national broadcast. TV. The boss had already told us we can do this. See, we can do this. Yeah, it won't, because you know what? Like I say, we raised $2 million for an airplane in less than 60 days, and you never even saw the plane. So here's a chance for you to see Imam Muhammad at least once a week, every week, or maybe we can get him on 7 nights a week. If they can get Jake and Swagger and everybody on all the time, how come we can't do this? And we got the true and living God. That's the part that's really puzzling. We can't put one brick on top of another without mortar. But yet still we talk about Meeks and all them other guys building big mega churches. We all this. You around here, it starts with the head. Everything starts with the head. And who's the head of our community? These imams.
Yes, sir.
It's your responsibility. And just like you go out there and talk about everything else, well, you ain't got to mention Imam Muhammad in your coot box.
Yes, sir.
You ain't got to mention Imam Muhammad because the prophet said this and the prophet said that. But yet still, though, you can mention Shafi.
Yes, sir.
Right? You can mention all these other ones, but you can't mention Imam Muhammad. See, something is wrong with your picture. See, that Negroology is still working. You still hate yourself. See? And the Imam said it was bred in us. It's got to be bred out of us. It's got to die out of us. It ain't going to change because it's in you. It was hundreds of years in slavery. Look, 400 years of slavery. The fear was in you. It took a real convincing message to get you out of their fear to come here to teaching. Because a lot of people right now, I ain't going down there. No, man. At one time, and I got the articles. I'm going to put a collage together for, I'm going to try to get it for our convention. But in it tells us about how they accused us of sacrifice on the altar. Yeah, they said that we sacrificed people on the altar. Well, that was to scare them. One's already scared, scare them away. And it kept them away. Master Farad gave out 20,000 names in Detroit. 20,000. Just think of how many people that is. And you look at, and a lot of them, when he left, and Elijah Muhammad had to run. Elijah Muhammad, he was running. Elijah Muhammad was running from his family. His members of his family wanted to hurt him. And the brothers would stay up. Many of you, just like they were there for a while. You would give your life. So my life and my death is all for Allah. How you going to give your life, your most precious item, you won't give your time or your money? Something wrong with the picture. Your understanding. But see, the thing is though, when he was running, Allah was God. Allah is in everything. You can be out of control. Your family, your wife, your children, your finance, your health, everything's out of control. But Allah is always in control. He never relinquishes control. And all you have to do is rely upon Allah. He said, you believe I save you, I'll save you.
Yes, sir.
But if you don't believe it, and it's just not just words, I'm telling you, go there. When you get sick, brother, it's people that's been sick. People in here that's been there. They know what time it is. And you pray that you never reach that point. But if you do, Allah, that's your test. When you made your shahada, you came out front and you made your shahada openly declare that Allah was God. Okay? Nobody made you do it. But the thing was, though, he said, do you say you believe and think you will not be tried? As I tried those before you, I'm going to try you. And sometimes he says twice a year, and sometimes it's within an inch of your life.
That's right. That's right.
See? So, I mean, all these things we do, we say, and we say, you hear and you obey. The message is out here. It's clear. There ain't no mystery about it. All the mysteries has been solved. The lessons has been called in. Now you have the one true and only book that it is, the Quran. Read it. This month of Ramadan, you read, and Allah will bless you. He has blessed you.